back in 2017, I was officially diagnosed with stage 4 B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it had been like a huge 3-week whirlwind of medical tests and all kinds of pressure, because I knew I was going to have to make a decision fast and waiting for results. I started to go into fear at that point, right? And I was really was still doing my daily meditations to try and change that, but it was starting to be a struggle. Anyways, and I remember the day of the appointment where we got the results. It was March 26th, and I was with my sister-in-law. She's a doctor, so I'd asked her to come with me. And I'm sitting there, and the oncologist is saying, well, you have stage 4 non-Hodgkin's B-cell lymphoma. We are going to do 6 chemos, 3 weeks apart. Then you will do 2 years of maintenance schedule, and then the cancer will come back in 6 years. Then we'll do a stem cell transplant, and then you'll get another 6 years of life. Wow. And so now I'm kind of stunned. And then my sister-in-law, says to me after, Lucy, that's a really good medical prognosis, considering that's pretty good, considering what you have. And I thought, oh, and I kind of went into this. And I said, look, I had always been natural. I had always wanted to do things naturally, and I really wanted to do this naturally too. I said, look, I got to think about what I'm doing here. I need some time. So I went and I talked to my naturopath and told him what was going on, and he said, oh, Lucy, we can do high dose vitamin C IVs, no problem. You actually have that cancer that reacts best to this treatment. However, the chemo's a no-brainer. And I thought, oh, even my naturopath. And so the pressure was sort of extreme, and I was confused, and the decision had to be so fast. And at this point, I was in total fear. Total fear. And everything I knew went right out the window. I mean, I had just gotten back from my second advanced follow-up retreat back with Dr. Joe back in November 2016, and all of a sudden, all the stuff went out the window. I stopped meditating. I got home. I was so focused on the fear. I was so focused on the unknown. I started to prepare myself to be really sick. I phoned around to find someone to cook for me. I phoned around for someone to drive for me, for someone to come in and take care of me. And then there I was at that first chemo treatment. My first chemo was April 26th. I did get the chemo delayed for 3 weeks, so I did also have 10 high-dose vitamin C IVs. Then I went for my first chemo. Well, about 10 days after the first chemo, backtrack a little bit. Right after I got back from the first chemo, as I realizing that I planned all these things, I had this epiphany and went, oh, Lucy, change! Oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're telling your body and every single cell in your body that you're not going to be able to handle this, that you're going to be disabled, that you're going to need all this help. And I thought, what am I doing? And in that moment, I had this feeling, and I know this sounds a little backwards, but I had this feeling in my heart of gratitude. And I thought, oh my gosh, Lucy, this is a test. This is a gift, because I know how to do this, and I can take care of this. Lucy, you can do this. This is your gift. Okay, a little backwards, but that's what I thought, and I felt really, really grateful. And so from that moment on, I went back to meditating, and not only did I go back to meditating, but I upped the meditations to 3 2-hour sessions. So I was double Dr. Joeing 3 times a day. Anyways, about 10 days after the first chemo, my hair was falling out, and I was doing the Blessings of the Two Energy Center meditation, and I was really, really in my heart. That was the hardest part of Dr. Joe's work for me. That had always been the hardest part, was going from my head to my heart, because I had sort of a history of 35 years previously of analysis. So I was a real head person. I was a real analytical person, and the journey from here to here felt like a very long way. But when I got into my heart, I had the most amazing meditations. And this one, I will never, ever forget this. What happened, I'm so into it. I'm at the, the root chakra. And I have the letter G, like this is my symbol, and it goes down with a long tail right into the earth. And it is an iridescent golden, like, color of halos, like on the saints, right? And it stands for groundedness and new growth of cells and regeneration and gratitude and grace and glowing health. And I was actually picturing this tail of the G scooping up this light from the earth, and it was bringing up this golden light up through my body. And along with this light, there was white light that was coming from above, and it was coming down this way and going this way, and that to me was the divine light, and the quantum field, and that was the white outside squiggly line, which was the resonance of which was the frequency of the quantum field, right, in the divine. And then my own frequency was gold right underneath that, and I was in perfect sync. It was in perfect sync. And I could actually see this. I was visualizing these shoots growing up from the ground, right through my legs, right through my body, and they were growing little shoots and then little buds, and then it was turning into flowers. And by the time I got to my heart, I had this whole garden of beautiful new growth and life, and I had tears streaming down my face. I was so grateful. I was feeling so much love. I could smell the flowers. I could taste the dew. I could feel the sun in my body. I could hear birds and the waterfall and the fresh air, and I was just in love, and I felt this energy right in my heart, and it went, all of a sudden, it was just this energy just went, poof, just went right from here, right out my head and gone. And it wasn't like bells ringing and, big drama or anything like that. It was just this very definite energy that I felt leave my body. And at the end of the meditation, I thought, oh, yeah, the cancer's gone. The cancer's gone. Oh, I'm so grateful. The cancer's gone. It's gone. It's gone. And so I knew at that time, that the oncologist was not going to do another CT scan until after the third chemo. And I wanted to stop chemo right then and there. And I wanted to prove to my oncologist and my family and my naturopath that I was clear, and that I wanted to stop the chemo, and I was just going to do high-dose vitamin C's. That was my plan. So I actually paid for a CT scan. I lived at the time across the border from Buffalo, and I got my chiropractor to give me a requisition. I hopped over to Buffalo, and I got this scan, and I'm coming home, and I'm reading it, not entirely understanding it, but I'm thinking, wow, this sounds really, really, really good. I take it to my naturopath. I said, here, what do you think? He said, Lucy, this is a miracle. This is amazing. Congratulations. I said, okay, I want to stop the chemo now. Are you good with it? He said, yeah, I'm really good with that. And I said, okay, let's go. Let's just do vitamin C. And then, then I have my appointment with the oncologist, like every time there was to be, like on the second chemo date, I'm sitting there in her office because we had an appointment every time just before the chemo. And I was bringing her the CT scan. I had a little disc with it. And I said, thank you very much. I'm really grateful for all your help, but I'm going to stop the chemo, based on this report that I had done, because I'm really convinced that I'm so much better. And I said, I had this meditation and I felt this energy leave, and she's looking at me, but she knew I was like that. So anyway, she was saying, Lucy, look, this CT scan doesn't show the measurements. I can't compare it to the first CT scan because doesn't actually show in the report what the measurements are. And she said, look, I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to come back and we'll discuss this. So she goes right away. She comes back. She's, okay, well, I'm really pleased for you, Lucy. This is really, really good. But you should know the cancer's not entirely gone. You still need to do chemo. And I said, well, I really don't want to. And we had this whole sort of thing going on. And then she says, well, you know, it's not entirely gone, but I would say it is, well, Well, she paused. She says, well, you know what? You're over 50% better. And I thought, I wonder how much over. I don't think she really wanted to tell me. Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's what she told me. And I said, and she says, you really need to do more chemo. So I said, look, I need to think about this. And so I got it delayed another week. She goes, 3 days. I said, another week. I need another week. And anyways, I went off again. And I thought about it. And then I thought, and the pressure. Oh my gosh, the pressure for my, my family, my sister-in-law, the doctor, and my friends, everything. And, the oncologist. And, I thought, so what? Look how good I am. I'm doing so well. Why not? I'll just keep the peace. I'll do, I negotiated her down to 2 more chemos. So I phoned, I said, hey, yeah, okay, I'll do them. So I go and I do 2 more. And then after the 3rd chemo, she's there. She goes, this is the oncologist. And she says, Lucy, I know we weren't going to do this, but she goes, I just want to show you, that the cancer's not gone. And I want to do that 3rd CT scan. So I said, okay. So anyways, she did. And the scan showed that I was in full remission. So, yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know at what point I went into remission. It could have been sooner. It could have been, whatever. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the work. I felt that energy leave. I had that experience. And I had that sort of proof after. And wow, this work is amazing. I'm so grateful for it. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Thank you. Blessings to everybody.